Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today we are going to discuss about a happy topic about happiness. And happiness is in fact a vast topic, so it's only we are going to give a short introduction about happiness formula and how it is can be mapped in with Upanishads. So why we are trying to connect this Upanishad and psychology, because Upanishad can be considered as a fire and sun, and psychology can be considered as a matchstick fire. So both are equivalent, but there is a difference in the degree, right? So H is actually an happiness according to psychology, but in Vedanta or in Upanishad, whenever you call a term happiness, it has an end. It is an absurd, no? So it has an end in Upanishad whenever you call a term as happiness. So as per the Upanishad, the H represents Brahmananda, Ananda, right? Which we will discuss at the end of the video. So the equation generally H means happiness, but strictly speaking, according to Upanishad, it is Brahmananda only, Ananda only, not the happiness. Because in psychology, we are not taking into consideration the Atma, we are not taking into consideration the mind, okay? No consciousness. So based on psychology, it is happiness, but happiness will be having an end as per the Upanishad, okay? So we need endless happiness, so it's called Brahmananda. But the problem with the Brahmananda is a human brain cannot apprehend it, okay? Only we can experience it, what it is. We cannot teach others what it is. Only one has experienced it, then they know what Brahmananda is, okay? So we will come to the first part of the equation, that is P, which represents the pleasure what you get from the food you eat in, maybe the pleasure that you get from your friends, maybe from your what you call, everybody needs fun, so this all comes under the pleasure. And in the Upanishad we can compare it with the karma, okay? But the problem with the karma is it gives you very high pleasure, but the problem it is only short lived. It is just like a fish in the water. What happens fish in the water? A fish can see only 100 feet in the water, in a clear water. If it is unclear water, just only few inches. So do you want to be fish in the water? No, we want to go to the higher levels. So the Upanishad says that we have to go to the higher level of happiness. So if you want to get higher level of happiness, you have to go to the engagement. What is engagement? Engagement means, if you are see, I can give an analogy. Like if you are playing a cricket, then that is engagement. But if you are watching a cricket, then it is a pleasure. If you are watching TV, then it is a pleasure. Watching TV program, mega serial, it is a pleasure. If you are watching a cricket in the television, then it is a pleasure. But if you are engaged, if you go out and play cricket in the playground, then it is an engagement, right? But Upanishad says that we have to go one more step ahead for more happiness. And that is called meaning. In the meaning, we are only experiencing the flow. So what does it mean by flow? It is a small difference is there between engagement and meaning. Okay. So we are experiencing a flow means, suppose I can give an example, like if a surgeon is performing a brain surgery for 7 to 8 hours continuously for depending upon the complexity of the disease. So the surgeon doesn't even feel that so much of time has passed, because he is completely immersed in his activity. But for whom? He is engaged in an activity, but for whom? It is for the patient, it is for the mankind. It is having a meaning, right? But on the other hand, if you are just uploading your personal videos and what you call, photos, okay, etc., in social media 24 into 7, it is also an engagement. But what is the meaning? It is just for your happiness, all right? So that is the difference between engagement and the meaning. So in the Upanishad as well as in the psychology says, whatever you do for an engagement, it should have a meaning, right? So that is the M factor, meaning. Okay, there finish the equation of psychology about the happiness. But as we said in the earlier, that happiness is actually the eternal happiness, which is called Brahmananda. So in the Vedanta we says that it is something called bliss, but we do not know what it is. We cannot apprehend what it is. We can only experience what it is. And if you connect it with the Buddhism, it gives us much more simpler idea, because Buddhism is much more simple in learning. So the Buddhism says that you cannot avoid pain. The pain is inevitable. Like the disease comes to your body, we cannot stop it. We cannot try to avoid it. So, and if you try to avoid it, it gives you more unhappiness. It gives you more suffering. That's what Buddha says. That's called the first arrow. Buddha says that we should not try to avoid the first arrow. That is mean it can be a disease or it can be some circumstances. We do not know how the other people will react to us. We should not try to change it. We should not try to change them, right? So this is the first arrow. But the how your happiness and unhappiness depends on how you react to this first arrow. And Buddha says that this is your second arrow. How you react to your first arrow is your second arrow. Okay, this second arrow determines how you how your happiness or unhappiness will be. For example, if you are closed, if you are locked in your room for 2 hours because you have done a mistake or you have as a punishment, your parents has given you a punishment, you're locked in your room for 2 hours, what you can do? You can either cry, right? Because the first arrow is your parents closed in a room, that's your first arrow. So what you can do? You can either cry sitting in the room, or you can watch the movie through your mobile phone, or you can chat with your friends through the mobile phone, or what you can do, you can just take on your books and engage in learning. So it is up to you, right? It is up to you how you react to the first arrow. First arrow means the closed, you are in a clocked room. So how you are reacting to the situation determines your happiness. So it's a second arrow. So this is how the Buddhism explains that. So Buddhism says that we have to face all the consequences, but how to react to that consequence depends upon your choice, right? So I hope the clear understanding to you, and the below article will give you much more enlightenment on this topic. And thank you. Bye bye.